It started the same as any other speech. Walking into a round of applause, shaking the Toastmaster's hand, and standing in front of a smiling, supportive audience. But as the speech continued, something changed. The audience looked less supportive and more just like the sea of faces in front of me. I started losing my place. I started forgetting what I had just said, let alone where I was going, and it was only the slides of the PowerPoint behind me that showed me my goal and the thing I had to reach next. This, for me, was a moment of failure. A moment of failure that lasted for about 15 minutes. I had to work through and keep going. And then I sat down to the supportive applause of a group of smiling Toastmasters. And I sat there, shaken, because it had been a long time since that had happened. I wasn't expecting that. I was prepared. I was practiced. I was ready. This was an important speech, one that I had looked forward to and rehearsed. It was ready. What happened? But now that it's been a while, I can even say that I'm at least somewhat thankful and learning to be more thankful for that experience. Because it is through failure, perceived, real, however you want to see it, how it is through failure that shows you the progression that you've been on. If you trip and fall, it means you've been walking. It is through failure that you can stop, reflect, catch yourself, and realize where you want to go next. So I want to talk a little bit about what to do after you trip and fall. I think it's important after any failure that matters to you, whether it's small or great, that you take time to pause, to grieve even. That loss of reputation, that saving of face that then was lost, that awkward moment. To realize that, yes, something was tarnished that can be polished again. And then to take that moment so you're not pushing it aside or pushing it down for it to only come up later and worse. To accept it, see it for what it is, and then decide you want to grow through it. Then how do we grow through it? Push it outside of yourself. It is a failure in and of itself. It's not who I am. And it's not who I choose to be, because I always have the choice of who I'm going to be moving forward. But I can take that failure experience and analyze it. What went wrong? But I don't just put it behind as some sort of vague, oh my goodness, embarrassing moment. I'm going to move forward and do another speech and nail it this time. It's no, what happened so that I don't do that again? Where did I go wrong? Was my preparation incorrect? Was there some practicing that could have been done? Should I have practiced in front of a group? What happened? Because it's that knowledge that then I can take with me to my next speech. Concrete, purposeful, written down goals for the next speech shows what I did wrong, what I need to improve on next time. And it's those concrete goals that then nail it down so that you know after the next speech what you failed at before was what you succeeded at this time. Next, once you go to that next speech, you go to that next speech. You don't wait 2, 7, 10 weeks before doing the next speech, because in that time, the mind plays its game. I failed. I seized up. I couldn't do it. I almost walked away. I almost walked away during. I almost walked away right after, never to come back into that room. So then 3 days later, you come up and you do another Toastmaster speech. You get up here and you sign up for a hot seat speech just because you need to break that mental barrier of I can do this again, no matter how this next speech turns out. The longer you leave it till the next trial, I guess, the longer you have to solidify that failure in your head as opposed to creating it as an elastic learning experience that you can move out of. Then, after that next speech, And after you've broken that mental barrier, you then analyze again. What went wrong in that failure scenario that you've now separated yourself from? Did you have a success the next time that you've also separated yourself from, analyzing it from an objective perspective, and what was different? Those written guidelines you gave yourself, were you able to complete them successfully this time? And friends, that's one thing that I love about Toastmasters. That's one thing I love about this organization. In this club, in this group, we are able to get up and fail. We're encouraged to get up and fail. Because failure usually comes from us trying to do something big, something exciting, something great, something we've never done before. Who cares if 40, 50 other people have done it? It's new for me. It's new for you. Get up there and try something different. Toastmasters welcomes failure because it welcomes growth. We will all have these flub-ups, these trips, these falls. It's what you do with it that counts. And we as a Toastmasters club will always be there to still clap as you sit down and to clap you up on your next speech. Mr. Toastmaster.